gang, Leanne here, your Honolulu personal trainer. Today I want to talk about a post I did yesterday where I said your diet is a short-term response to your long-term desire. And that really speaks to me and my personal story in terms of how I got started in fitness. Basically, I was, like the common story goes, a chubby kid who was reminded of a weight at a very young age. And so I started dieting and exercising at a very young age. And that kind of continued and kind of embedded this thought that in order to be happy and lovable, that I had to mold and shrink my body size into what was acceptable to those around me and to societal norms. So of course, what's going to happen is you end up becoming a personal trainer and do fitness and exercise and all that stuff for your full-time gig because you're immersed in it. And so for decades, I was on this hamster wheel of really doing all these fad diets, thinking that once I achieved this image and body shape and body size and weight, I had a weight in mind, of course, like we all do, right? That I would be so happy. And it was like 1997 when I reached my lowest weight of 125 after doing 7 months of Jenny Craig, and not just doing 7 months of Jenny Craig, killing myself in 7 months of Jenny Craig, because I just had to really fight my body to get this, scale goal weight that they had set for me. And I was like determined. And I remember when I hit that 125 on the scale and I like graduated from Jenny Craig, I was so sad and I was so unhappy and I was so miserable. Sure, there was a little bit of like, yay, I did it, but it didn't bring about this body love and self-acceptance and like, I'm happy, okay, I'm good, now I just have to maintain it. It didn't bring any of that about like how I had thought. So that was disappointing too, because I guess at that time I had built up this 125 scale number as such a big epic thing that when I actually arrived there, I think I had just so much anxiety that like, how was I now gonna keep up the shtick and keep up all this stuff that I was doing to maintain this number, because it took so much for me to get my body to that particular number. And back in 1997, I wasn't even lifting any weights because early on, Jenny Craig said, don't lift weights because we really just want to focus on the number on the scale. I'm sure it's changed since then. Because again, this was back in 1997, but I was just like so terrified to leave the program. And the deciding factor on leaving the program was actually just money, because I was kind of like a broke college student and I didn't have money to stay in the lifetime program, where at that time I think it was like a big lump sum for forever access, lifetime access. And I also there was a little part of me that knew that I was like, I couldn't go on this path and continue this method because it was just so hard. And my life and my world revolved around counting calories and dieting and exercising and not eating before I went out and only drinking water and never eating out and taking my Jenny Craig food to everywhere, and then increasing my exercise from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, and then from 90 minutes to 120 minutes, and then 120 minutes to 2 a days. And there was a little bit, a part of me that was like, this is not healthy. This is not something you want to do for long term just to maintain this number. So I was kind of caught in between this very fear-based mindset of you should stay in Jenny Craig because they're going to whip you and keep you in shape, versus but I'm slowly like dying inside because I can't do all these things all the time, right? And it went on for even more years after that. I left Jenny Craig and of course rebounded with weight and then found triathlon and ultra marathons and Ironman to kind of be strategies to keep my sort of weight in check. And what I realized was that, it's all about, in order to lose weight, and keep weight off sustainably, it really has to start with you changing your thinking. And the thinking, which is a lot of clients will ask me, especially new clients that, we're working with each other, saying if they want to work with me, why do they want to lose weight? I wish I could have gone back and someone asked me early on, like at Jenny Craig, why do you want to lose weight? Because I probably would have been honest and would have been said, well, because my weight now at 5'3" is pretty close to my boyfriend's weight, and he's 6'4", and that's shameful to me. And also, because I'm chubby, I think he's gonna leave me for somebody skinnier, and I'm deathly afraid of that. So that's why I want to lose at least 45 pounds. Then I wish somebody would ask me why 45 pounds. Well, I'm 5'3", and my doctor says that I really should be in the 108 to 125 pound range. But, spilt milk, right? Can't go back. So this is why I now engage my clients in this way, because again, my message is that in order to lose weight sustainably, safe and sound, enjoyable, in order to keep weight off, you have to change your thinking. Weight management, just like weight loss, it's all about changing your lifestyle, right? You cannot, if you're gonna rely on a short-term diet to lose weight, you're only gonna get like a short-term fix. You're gonna end up right back at where you started. And we see this time and again. I've done it. I am first-hand classic experience of a yo-yo dieter. So I come from a place of having done it all. I mean, I think I did a post about using Epicac syrup to purge, using exercise to purge, trying every single diet in the book, including those HCG, like pregnancy lady drops. Lots of fat burners when ephedra was legal on the market. I mean, I really put my body through the ringer. And when I was finally able to sort of come to this realization that the methods that I had been undertaking and utilizing for 20 plus years of my life, from my early 18s to now 40s, I just didn't have the mental capacity nor the mental space to pursue those methods any longer. Because just like a drug, all these strategies and this diet jumping and this shiny new object syndrome of trying these new supplements and workout methods and diet food programs, it lost its appeal to me. It didn't hit the same way. It didn't give me that same high as it once did when I first started. So like anything else, I started following TWW for a while. I knew a gal there, a coach there that had lived in Hawaii, and I was just kind of following her story. And when I felt at a good enough place inside of myself, so in my thinking and in my mindset, that I wanted to now go ahead and work with somebody or work with a group that could really help me and nurture me and help me change my relationship and how I identified with food and fitness, I decided to take a leap of faith and join TWW. And again, I was weary because as this person, I've had tons of trainers, I've worked with tons of different people, and it's always been a lot of sacrifice and a lot of suffering. And I'm not saying that dieting is not uncomfortable, because it is. And I'm not saying that dieting is is something you need to do. But what I'm talking about is, if you want to look for like either starting a wellness habit or changing some of your wellness habits, that you have to really look at the why behind you, the driving factor that's doing that. And that's why I love working with women in their 40s, because at this point in their age, it's much more about longevity, thriving as you age, and keeping up with your kids or your spouse, or looking forward to, growing old gracefully, I guess you could say, versus it being just about, I just want a flat stomach and a tight booty. or I want to fit back into my wedding dress, or I want to look super shredded for my college reunion, right? So can you notice the difference, the two different goals, right? And again, I've had all those goals. Most of my life, it's been all these aesthetic outside of me goals. But the whole point of me chasing those outside of me goals, because I really thought it was going to help fix some of the inside stuff going on in here goals that I wanted to fix. And what took me a long time to realize, like, that are two opposing forces, right? That in order, you have to work from the inside out. When you are happy, truly happy and content with yourself inside, that will thus manifest on the outside, right? And then the changes that you make on the inside will help facilitate changes on the outside without it being any kind of super, like, hard, white knuckling sort of approach to what we kind of experience when we're trying to do some kind of restrictive or hardcore diet. So I guess, I get that question a lot, like, how did I start my career in fitness? And I spent 10 years in the advertising agency business. I thought that was my dream job. And all along that way, I was always, I pretty much always wasn't satisfied with my weight and my body shape. And so I pretty much had a part-time job of dieting and exercise because I was really trying to fix my outside, how I look, because I really believed if I looked a certain way, weighed a certain weight, that I would be happy, that I would be lovable, that more people would want to be my friend, or that my spouse wouldn't leave me. And what I've realized, again, over the years, that it doesn't work this way. That you really have to be solid with your why. Why do you want to lose weight now? And you have to keep asking yourself. And you have to be willing to evolve with that why. Because that why, maybe, like when I first started, with TWW, my why was to lose a lot of the weight I had gained when I did 8 months of infertility treatment. And not being super strict on my eating and my fitness, because again, I was trying to have this baby at 44. And so when that didn't work out, I knew that I just didn't feel like myself. But my mindset for wanting to lose the weight was not to hit a certain number or to be a certain size, but I just wanted to feel better from the inside out. I wanted to feel strong. I wanted to feel capable. I wanted to be confident in moving my body. I wanted to be healthier. And so going into it to start, the weight loss is great, but I just kind of was like, okay, this is the icing on the cake. I just reached my 1-year anniversary with the team, and now I'm in maintenance, and I've been in maintenance since January. And it was really hard to think that I would have to be in maintenance for at least a year. But once I really started to do some inside work, again, checking back in with my why, working with my coach Janelle on my habits, my thoughts, sitting with myself in terms of looking at experiences and my reactions to stuff, and being willing to just try a different way and to be steady in the stillness, to not be caught up in chasing that new shiny object of another weight loss goal, that shiny new object syndrome, and being just content and grateful of being able to be in this strong body as I am now. That's been the biggest win for me over the past year. And that is why I am so passionate about helping other women achieve the same. So gang, ladies, I want to leave you with this, that it starts with what's going on in here. Start changing your thinking, or really examining why you are doing the things you want to do, or why you have the goals that you have, especially when it comes to weight loss and weight maintenance. Aloha.